G'day RG Bargy Crew. I hope you're having a fantastic day and your family's happy and healthy. Okay, we're going to take a quick look at how divisions work in Pickup. I've looked around the internet to try and find any other tutorials on how this works, and I couldn't find anything, so I've decided to make one myself because we've just recently purchased our first division in Pickup for our VTC, and it was a little bit scary at first in case we got it wrong. So we've done the hard work, and this will let you know exactly how it works, hopefully, and hopefully it'll be an understandable tutorial for you. Alright, so the first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need enough coins in Pickup to purchase your divisions. The divisions range from 75,000 coins up to 175, I think it was. We went for the dearest one first because we decided that by purchasing the dearest one, it would give us the best amount of coins per contract that we do, and that way we could then purchase the other divisions quicker. So this is assuming that you know how to get into Pickup. You've created your VTC, etc., etc. You've got a few drivers, and away you go. So again, like I say, the first thing you do is you purchase it. So when you go to view, it'll ask you if you want to buy it. You click buy. If you've got enough coins, it'll allow you to buy it, and then you'll come into this section here, and you'll have contracts and settings in whichever division you have purchased. So that allows you to see that you have actually purchased it, because these settings will now appear on the division. And to get to the divisions, you go to, if you're the owner or a manager, you would go to management and then into divisions, and that's where it is for you to set up. This divisions here is for the drivers and your staff to see what the contracts are. But for now, we're doing the setup part. So management, divisions, and it brings you to this. And again, we've purchased this one already, and we've already done some contracts. So the first thing you do is ignore the contracts to start with and make sure your settings are correct. And in the settings, you can change your image and make that whatever you want. I've just left it as default because it looks quite good. And you can create a webhook or a Discord channel, if you have a Discord channel, that will show all the completed jobs within the contract that you're doing at the current time. I've created a webhook. I'm not going to show you how to do that because that's not what this video is about, but it does have a link to explain how to create a webhook if you want to do that. All right, so that is there. The next thing you want to do is add drivers to allow them to take part in your contracts. Now, a few things you need to know about adding drivers. Number one, you need to add drivers, or else you won't be able to take part in the contracts. And the more drivers you add, the more deliveries per job there will be in those contracts. Now, I'll explain that in detail a little bit more, but just a quick explanation is when we first did it, I only had the managers doing the contracts. So that was 8 drivers. And with our first contract, it was an American Truck Simulator contract. We had one job or one delivery per job in the contract by only having 8 drivers. But then with the next contract, I'd added more. So we had up to 13 drivers, and it gave us 15 jobs or 15 deliveries per job. And I'll show you that in a tick. So once you've added your drivers, and again, remembering the more drivers you add, the more jobs you're going to have to do, and you've only got a certain period of time to do it. Click save once you've done all that, and then going back to division, you can now go into the contracts. And again, this is for you, the manager or the owner, to set up. And as you can see here, if I go to ADS, this is the first contract we did. And as you can see, it says deliver 1 cargoes, deliver 1 cargo. So because we only had the 8 drivers, there was only 1 delivery per job. You get 6 jobs and you get 7 days to complete your contract. We completed this within a day, I think it was, because we had 8 drivers and they were very good drivers, and we knocked it out in no time flat. Now, when you do this, it will, up the top here, because this contract's already been accepted, it will say current reward and possible penalty. And the current reward was something like 35,000, and a possible penalty was 175,000 or something like that. So you will get to see what will happen if you don't complete your contract within that 7 days. So the basic way to explain it is your company will be fined an amount of your task reward times 3 coins for each task that is not completed. So if you do not complete the tasks, you'll get hit with 3 times whatever the reward was. So if you understand that, for example, here's 2,250 coins for the reward on that one. If we failed to do that one, we get hit with a fine 3 times that amount. Okay, so that would be what, 6,750. So as you can see, we've only done 1 in this one, we've done 1 in this and 2 in this. But here are the 6 jobs again. Now, because I've got 13 drivers taking part in the contract, we now have to complete 15 cargoes per job, or 15 deliveries per job. And if they're not completed, we'll get hit with a fine. Within your deliveries, it tells you what you've got to deliver, potassium. It tells you the amount of kilometers that job has to have, in other words, per job. So per individual delivery of those 15, you have to do a delivery of potassium, at least 1,100 kilometers or more. In this job, you have to do an acid, 15 deliveries of acid, at least 1,100 kilometers or more. In this one, you have to do 15 deliveries of sodium hypochlorite. This is misspelt. It's supposed to be a T, not a D. So sodium hypochlorite of 750 kilometers or more. In this one, you get the idea, okay? So it will tell you how many deliveries you have to do, what it is you have to deliver, and the amount of kilometers per job or per delivery. And like I say, there will be 6. Now, you get a job or a contract every month or every 7 days. Again, not 100% sure on this because we're only new to it as well, but I'm thinking it's probably every 7 days or maybe once a month you'll get contracts. So these are the contracts, and we found that the best way to do this is not to use the dispatcher in Pickup, because it's a bit hit and miss. So we found that the best way, instead of using the dispatcher until this is updated and fixed, and apparently the owner of Pickup is doing an update very soon, and hopefully the dispatcher will work a lot better than it does. But we found that the best way to do this is to have a look at the job. So if you were a driver, you'd come into dispatcher, not dispatcher, I'm sorry. You'd come into divisions and you go to the contracts and you would have a look at what the jobs are that are currently available. The way I've done it is I've opened a post up in the Discord, our Discord, and I've copied down each of these jobs and made it current contract jobs, and I've listed each one and how many deliveries have to be made. So people can just come in there or come in here and they can go, right, it's potassium and I need to do 1,100 kilometers. So they can either go to the jobs market in the game and search for a potassium job that is 1,100 kilometers or more, and then just pick that job and away you go, and that will register in Pickup and will go towards the contract. So again, if you're just doing it within the game, you would search for potassium then search for a job that is 1100 kilometers or more and accept that job and do it within the game. Very easy, very simple. It's just like looking or searching for any other job that you do in the game. And once you've done that, it would register as one of the jobs. If you're a driver within the contract, it would register as one of the jobs for the contract has been completed. Now, if you can't find a potassium job at 1100 kilometers, there's a few ways you can fix that. You can, if you know how to use a developer's console, you can just advance the time of day to the next day and hope that there's another job there that you can do. That's number one way to do it. If that doesn't work, number two way is you can do it through Truckee. If you've got Truckee, the mod from Truckee that you can use to create your own jobs, you could then go into Truckee, find a create a potassium job from a town to another town that is 1100 kilometers away or more. And it's always best to go over that to be on the safe side. So again, they're the few ways that you can do it that are a lot easier than trying to do it through dispatch. So again, in game, copy and paste potassium into the search in your freight market or your cargo market. Look for a potassium job that's 1100 kilometers or more, and take that, and away you go, and it will register it if you're a driver in the contract. If you can't find that job, advance the time of day using the developer's console, and hopefully there'll be a job there then. If not, then go into Truckee and create your own job in Truckee that meets these criteria. And that way, when you take the job and complete the job, it will register and you will see another delivery registered here. All right, so again, if you're a manager and you want to do divisions, go to Management, Divisions, and once you've done that, you'll come here into the divisions. It will show you how much each division is. If you've got enough coins, you can buy it. And then once you've bought it, you can go to your settings, add your drivers, and it's always best to start off with just a handful of drivers, maybe 7 or 8 or 5 or 4 or 5. Create your webhook if you want to display it in your Discord. Save it. Once you've saved it, go back to Management and Divisions, into Contracts, and you will have both two contracts. You'll have ATS and ETS2. You'll have a little button there that will say Accept Contracts. This tells you briefly how it works. Upon accepting this contract, your company will have 7 days to finish it. As you can see, we've only just started this contract. Your company will receive coins for each task it completes. So each time one of these tasks completed, you'll still get coins for it, which I think are just your standard delivery coins. But once the task is completed, you'll get this reward here as well on top. The total reward for this was 3,000 and something. Let me check the finances. There it is. The reward, the division contract. So that was the bonus. We got 3,363 on top of each job's coins. So it's a bonus. All right. So in here, it will say total reward, total penalty, fine. And so each job you do, you will get your normal amount of coins. And then if you've completed the task and done the 15 deliveries, you'll get this as a bonus. And that basically means that, because it said our reward for this one was 35,000, so therefore the 35,000 would be a bonus on top of each job that we've done. All right, so hopefully that explains it for you guys. And for the RG Bargy Crew, if you're looking at this, like I say, the best way to take your jobs is to pick one of the jobs, put this in the search bar in-game, and make sure that the job that you choose is 1100 kilometers plus, or 750, wherever, or whatever it is. Make sure that the mileage or the kilometers is a little bit more than what is required. That way you're on the safe side. Make sure it's the correct. For example, acid. If you're choosing an acid job, there are like 4 different types of acid. Make sure it is acid only, not acid hydrochloric acid or potassium acid or whatever it may be. It must only be acid, and it must be spelt correctly. This one is incorrect, but that's a spelling or typo that this guy's made. It's got to have a T instead of the D on this one. But make sure that, for example, mercuric is the singular, not mercuric acid or hydrochloric, mercuric, or whatever it may be. It must just be mercuric. So make sure it's exactly what you see here, and the kilometers are a little bit over to be on the safe side. Type it into the search bar, find one that's correct kilometers, accept that job, and away you go. Couldn't be easier. Again, if you can't find that job, advance the time a bit and see if there's a job there. If not, use Truckee. And if you do have problems even after that, if you don't have Truckee, let us know, and we can somehow probably set up a job for you to do it. All right, so hopefully that explained it. If there's any questions, I don't know if I did make that understandable. If I did, hopefully you understood it. And if you've got any questions, ask them down in the comments or ask on the Discord. And if you're interested in joining our VTC and being part of this, it's really good fun. We're going to do a convoy tomorrow for ETS, and we'll probably do a few of these jobs to get them out of the way. And like I say, if you're interested, there'll be a link in the description for that as well. And if you did enjoy it, please give me the thumbs up. Subscribe if you haven't already. It's free, you might as well. And hopefully, if you did enjoy it, we'll catch you in the next one. Bye for now.